Well folks, you've seen this guitar before if you watch my channel. It's a James guitar, J-A-M-E-S. I had a bunch of these, and they're Sitka spruce solid tops with rosewood back and sides. I'm selling them really cheap. I've got maybe a couple left. I'm not making a video about James guitars today. I'm just using this guitar sort of as by a means to introduce what I want to talk about. I have a special connection to get these. I work for 2 or 3 guitar companies. I've been in and out of music, wholesale, retail, lutherie for 25 years. It's taken me a long time to build up some of the contacts. I don't see anybody else actually selling these. They did crop up, I think, on eBay for a while, but they dried up, and I think I'm the only one I know of that has them. There might be 1 or 2 floating around. It's a great little deal. I mean, if you bought something like this at Guitar Center, solid Sitka spruce top with rosewood back and sides, on sale you couldn't touch it for less than $300. I mean, that's just the nature of acoustic guitars. So that's the James guitar. Well, occasionally I browse the Salvation Army site, the good old Sally Army as we used to call it back in the day, and lo and behold, I came across this, which is a James, all black. Never seen it before. The place where I got the other ones didn't offer this. Never seen an all black one. I think it's solid spruce top. Not sure what the backwood is, but it's exactly the same guitar. It's just done in all black. Probably isn't rosewood on the back. It's probably mahogany with a gloss black finish. Sounds great. I haven't even set it up, just got it out of the box. I mean, these are really nicely made guitars, these James guitars. Not to be confused with Leo James, the J-A-Y-M-Z. These are James, regular spelling. And this is the JD350BK. But what I wanted to talk about is the Salvation Army. They do actually have a website, or is it Goodwill? I always get mixed up between those two. Maybe it's Goodwill. I think it's the Goodwill website. It's kind of like an eBay, but it's their own thing. I sometimes watch auctions on there. Everything tends to go too high, but occasionally I get a good deal on these things. And of course, a lot of them are doubled. The listings are doubled on eBay, which you know, it depends on the area. Some of them sell them on their own site, some of them sell them on eBay, some of them list them on both. So you'll sometimes see the same guitar on both sites. But anyway, I've never had much luck finding guitars on that site, and I just wanted to ask if anybody else has. Usually when you go and look at the listings, and it's not as friendly a site to deal with as Reverb or eBay. Usually when I go on there, it's the kind of stuff you'd expect to find at thrift shops. You know, old Edmund guitars that need net resets. You know, just beat up old Honors or Harmonies. Airline, that, you know, sort of the 60s and 70s American stuff that was cheap, that sold for Sears and Roebuck catalogs, that needs just tons and tons of work, and even if you do the work, you can't really make any sort of money on them because they don't have truss rods. They were just poorly made in that period. You can find some gems, of course, and people do collect that stuff. I've met guys come here who collect Harmonies or Airline hollow body guitars or the Dutch guitars like Egmond. But by and large, you don't find anything that great on that site, that Goodwill site. So I was stunned to find this, and I picked it up fairly cheap. It came with a hard shell case that was too big for this. It's absolutely perfect for my jumbo baritone, Alvarez baritone guitar. So I ended up getting a case for my treasured baritone with this. So I'll probably move this on and keep the case. But I just wondered if anybody actually goes on the Goodwill the auction site and buys guitars or buys musical instruments, do you ever get a bargain? What are they like for shipping? I've only used them a couple of times. You know, some of the listings are pickup only, some of them are shipping. eBay's getting that way as well. Just wondered what your thoughts were, if any of you that comb around looking for bargains like I do, have used that auction site and had any luck with it, or you have any stories to tell about it. You know, I've got an account there, but I rarely go on and look. I just happened to go on and look the other day and run into this thing and picked it up. So anyway, that's just the nature of this video. Most of you do eBay, some of you do Reverb. Does anybody do the Goodwill auction site? Are there deals to be had? Is it all sort of 60s, 70s, fairly poor quality, no truss rod guitar fare? Or do you find good stuff on there at a reasonable price? It always seems like people overbid on there to me, and maybe it's because it's a charity site, I don't know. A lot of times I'm watching something and it just goes over the amount I want to pay, and I never end up buying anything on there. So I just thought to throw a video out there and see if anybody has any luck with that. If you don't know about it, go on there and check it out. There's usually 3 to 5 pages of stringed instruments: guitars, violins, mandolins, banjos, the odd cello. You know, I go on there about once a month and see what's on there. But I've never had much luck finding bargains. So let me know what you think, and I'll be back with more goodies. See you next time.